Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today the Houston Astros play the Los Angeles Angels for another series at Minute Maid or Daikin Park. Sorry, third series of the season at Daikin Park for the Astros, and this will be the second divisional matchup for the Astros. Just got done with their first against the Mariners, which was a disaster. Lost 2 of the 3 games, and being completely honest, they should have had a sweep in this series, but blew a 5-0 lead in the second game and a 6-4 lead in the final, and then in the ninth. And the second game, or the first game, they had a 3-2 lead, and the Mariners came back and won 4-3. That's not as bad as what we saw the last game of the series, but I thought most of the time the Astros were playing great baseball against the Mariners, but there were some moments where you saw like pitching in the 8th and 9th inning, pitching in the 8th or 7th inning for the Astros with Taylor Scott in the first game. Those are really only some of the the non-bright spots for the Astros in that series. And so I thought it was a good series outside of that. And so it's just really unfortunate outside of Taylor Scott's collapse in the first game, and then the 8th and 9th inning collapse in the third game. It should have been a sweep for the Astros, and we should, instead of be talking about how the Astros are 5-7 right now, it should be how the Astros are 7-5. But that's baseball for you. All right, series against the Angels. Here's the interesting thing: Astros wearing the Space City Home Network. Or sorry, not Space City Home Network. That's the channel. That's their Space City jerseys. Not they're going to be wearing their Space City jerseys the entire series. That's pretty interesting. Their old jerseys, the ones they wore for a couple years before these, they wore them. It was only worn on Mondays. You didn't really see this like this where they're gonna wear these jerseys all series. So I think it's interesting. And also throughout the weekend, the Astros are celebrating Orbit's birthday. So hopefully the Astros can get a sweep for Orbit on his birthday. Another thing that will be that will happen throughout this series, which will be special, is the first start of Ryan Gusto. We've seen him pitch 8 innings so far. He has only given up 1 earned run he's only given up one earned run in 8 innings, and we're going to see him pitch Saturday for the Astros, and so that will be interesting. So that that'll be interesting to see him get his first start. He was supposed to start for the Astros in Game 162 of last year, but it got rained out, and so the Astros will see him start tomorrow. It's going to be interesting how long he can go. He was big for the Astros in their extra innings win on Tuesday, pitching 1 inning, so we'll see how he can do Saturday. So the starters for this series, Renell Blanc will be on the mound tonight. It would be great to see him bounce back after his terrible outing last time. He's going up against Jack Kolshinowicz tonight, who is a right-hander. The game I'm excited for is tomorrow, though. Saturday's game, I think it's going to be very interesting because you've got Ryan Gusto making his opening debut. That's one thing. But one reason I'm really excited is the Angels got Tyler Anderson on the mound, and this will be the first left-handed pitcher that the Astros will see this year as a starter. And when I see the Astros facing a left-handed pitcher, I think about guys like Yordan Alvarez, Yainer Diaz, Christian Walker have been struggling this year, and I see this as a game for them to potentially get really hot for the Astros. Because you got Yordan Alvarez, who's a lefty killer. Yainer Diaz had a batting average of 308 against lefties last year. And Christian Walker against lefties last year had a batting average of 275 compared to his batting average of 240 against righties. So, Christian Walker, Yainer Diaz, and Yordan Alvarez, all killers of lefties. Not only to add this to the list, but Jose Altuve has a really good resume against Anderson. He's like 9 for 25, and so does Yordan as well. So I think it's going to be interesting on Saturday. Gusto making his first major league start, and then the Astros finally facing a lefty. Then Sunday, the Astros will have Hayden Wesneski on the mound after his 7 innings, 2 earned run baseball the other night. He will face Kyle Hendricks. That'll be an interesting matchup for this Astros team. So I'm excited. I'm not going to get cocky and say the Astros get a sweep. I'd like to see that. But I think the Astros can take 2 of 3 against this Angels team. I know they've been playing good baseball. They're 8-4. But I think the Saturday game tomorrow, I highlight that as a dub facing a left-handed pitcher. This is what some of these guys in this Astros lineup who are cold need. And then Ronel Blanco and Hayden Wesneski on the mound for the other games of this series. I think the Astros can get at least one of those wins. I'm going to predict that the Astros get their first win in a game that Hayden Wesneski starts. They don't have a win in either. Or no, Blanco, in his last start, the Astros did win, but they didn't win because of him. And Wesneski, his last start, they lost, but they didn't lose because of him. He pitched 7 innings of 2 earned run baseball. So I'd hope for the Astros to give Wesneski and Blanco their first wins of the season. We'll see. Blanco's last outing was all on him. Wesneski, his last outing, it was on the offense. So let me know your thoughts on this series in the comment section, and peace out.